Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so sorry. I had a really bad day yesterday and I was planning on doing this live yesterday. Good morning, Wisco Gal. Good morning, Island Girl. Good morning, Aesop's. How are you, sweetie? I was planning on doing this live yesterday and then I had to cancel for my own reasons. I don't see everybody in the chat, but I do see the count. So I'm just going to say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Gwen. So a lot of things have been going on. Oh my God. We have JLR investigates. We have the picture of what he did to Magnolia. We have what's his name, Wes Watson, who hi sweets and beyond, who has been arrested again. Oh Lord, we have the Duggars, and then we have some other people that prey on children that are mega supporters. Good morning, make love not more war. Good morning, sweets and beyond. Hi, so done. Good morning, bliss, Chris. So, um, and I titled it "Let Us Pray." And yes, the word pray, Prey. And in case we don't know what pray means, pray are people that manipulate, people that um you could say dry bag too, but people that manipulate, people that try to control. So that's what a prey is. And we look at it's just not about predators. It's not about people that go after kids. Okay, because animals prey on each other. Shit. People prey on each other. Okay. So that's what prey is. Now, when an animal kills, they kill for survival. When people manipulate and pray and all that other stuff, it's for their own selfish reasons and gains. Hi, sassy nerd girl. Good morning, Michelle LaBelle. Oh, you were in the other one, Drea. I was gonna go live on Unreal, and I said no. Let's do them on both. Ah, let's see. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Is pray, and I have so many clips. But we're going to talk about the Duggars first, okay? We're going to talk about the Duggars because this is not only a family that pray, Pray, and Prey. They pray like, hands clasped, Pray, and then they pray. They're predators. And I was reading, an excerpt was sent to me by someone. An excerpt was sent to me by what's her name, Amy Duggar, that wrote about her grandfather. Okay, so that just tells me that he was a predator as well. And it says, I couldn't sit with him on the couch and watch a movie. I couldn't be alone with him in a car. I couldn't practice my cheerleading routines in the living room or wear a bathing suit to sunbathe outside. I couldn't even play Barbie in front of him because my grandma didn't want me to risk showing him their naked bodies. So you're telling me everybody knew not only was Jim Bob's dad uh, a diddler, you know, was it Duggar Dittlers? Um, not only was Jim Bob's dad a diddler, his kids are diddlers. And in my opinion, Jim Bob is a diddler. Okay. They had to learn it from somewhere. She said, above all, I could not under any circumstances step foot into his bedroom or take a bath or shower unless my grandma was home. I wasn't allowed to have friends hang out, and sleepovers were strictly off limits. It's the whole family. So we've got Josh Duggar, who's serving 12 years. And now we have Joseph Duggar. So I have his intake video and all, but here's the thing. Joseph Duggar was arrested in Tonytown. Now, this little town is, I think his dad has a whole lot of pull in that town. Okay. Not only was he arrested, but his wife, Kendra, was arrested. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on in this family? So on Friday, Joseph, you know, he waived his rights to an extradition to Arkansas. So this happened when the young girl was 9. She's 14 now. She came forward. She told her dad. Well, her dad called, talked to Joseph. He admitted it. Then the dad went to the police and they had him to call him again, and he admitted it again. So you have 19 kids and counting, and you're studying. And then, Josh, is that the one? Josh, who was convicted, who stated that he had molested his sisters and a babysitter, but he didn't go to jail for that. He went to jail for having child porn all on his phone and stuff. But he didn't get arrested for molesting the kids. I mean, his sisters and all of them. No. Mm-mm-mm-mm. No, no, no. He was receiving and possessing images of child sexual abuse. That's what he went to jail for. So now we have Joseph, and look at a beautiful wife, Kendra. They have 4 kids together. 4 kids, and you are preying on other people's children and your own, because she's been charged with false imprisonment, child endangerment, and those charges have now been added to Joseph. Hi, George. Hi, Wendy. I don't see George, but I see you guys saying hi. Oh, I see him. Hi, George. Um, we're counting charges now. Yes, we're going to listen to these charges. So we have him in court. Everybody was wondering why Kendra wasn't in court. We're going to see the footage where they went to the home in Arkansas and she wasn't there. So she went and turned herself in. Pray. Pray and Prey. A family that prays together, pray together. Get it? You praying on innocent children, including your own. Yes, his own kids. That's where the imprisonment comes from, and a child endangerment on Kendra. So 16 charges in count. Hi, Brandy. Happy, happy, happy bride. How are you, sweetie? Um, don't they look like sister and brother? They look like sister and brother. So but we kept saying, when Josh went to trial and all this other stuff, we kept saying something's wrong with this family. Well, I've been saying something's wrong with this family. I tried to watch them a couple of times and I couldn't. That's going to remind me of Platteville. You know, there's something wrong there. And I remember we were talking about this way back when the Platts and the Duggars were actually friends. They used to communicate. So I'm just like, what is going on in this Platt family? And I have an interview coming up, and it's been a rough couple of months, and I was supposed to do this last month and I had to postpone it. So I'm going to get this done, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to hear all about the Platts. There is something wrong with this family. If Jim Bob's dad was a PD, you know, a P3DO, I'm thinking Jim Bob is the same way. There is no way you didn't know that your son was diddling his sister and the babysitter when they were younger. You let this go on underneath your own roof. So let's just take a look at Josh. Well, at Joseph, not Josh, at Joseph. And let's see what his charges currently stand, because we've added more charges. And we're going to do breaking news. I need to use my breaking news clip. Um, yeah, we're going to do breaking news. Let me come back out of here. We're going to share. I want breaking news. Um, why can't I find it? Let me take these pictures down. I think that's might be why I can't pull what I want to pull up. Remove. Remove. Okay, let's try this again. Share screen. Okay, let's look at his intake video. Um, okay, we're going to stop there. Here we go. Let's look at breaking news. And I want this bigger because I want you guys to be able to see this. So let me fix this. I don't know. Ever since they did, I have no idea what they did or how they did it. I don't know. All I know is I don't like the new layout. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a listen.
Allegations that Joseph Duggar inappropriately touched a victim younger than 12 years old in Florida. And we've
9
learned
years
tonight
old.
that Duggar and his wife are now facing charges here in Arkansas. Good evening and thank you for joining us at 5:30. I'm Joshua. You know that Doug Warner joins us live now from the Duggar home.
Let me just stop this for a second. This is the Duggar home. So this is Joseph's home and Kendra. Kendra wasn't at the house when they went, even though that meeting was arranged because they were going to serve her with all of these charges. Okay. She wasn't there.
Well, Doug, you were on scene when authorities arrived there earlier today. What have you learned tonight?
Yeah, the reason we're here at the area that's known as the Duggar family compound, the one that was profiled on 19 Kids and Counting when that reality show was on air for a few years, this was the first stop for Town Police today when they were searching for Joseph Duggar's wife, Kendra Duggar, to serve her with warrants. 8 counts. We're talking 4 counts of endangerment of a minor in the second degree and 4 counts of false imprisonment in the second degree. Now, I'll show you this video if we can. This is when they 3 different units and another car approached the gates here. We understand with the police, Town Police was a child advocate just because.
Yes, Sweets, the wife was arrested. The wife was arrested. So right now we have 16 charges and counting. Can we get to 19?
The father is currently behind bars facing those charges out of Florida that date back to 2020, sex crimes with a minor. Those allegations coming forward just a few days ago that there was a child advocate here just in the event now if the mother was to be taken away. Again, they did not locate her.
She was arrested and then she was released after her mugshot and booking and everything. He wasn't. So we'll look at that as well.
Here, the gates never opened. They were told she wasn't here, even though this was, I'm told, a prearranged meeting that she would be served with those warrants right here at this complex, even though Joe and Kendra actually live in their own home about a mile south of here as the crow flies. I was then told that she had decided to turn herself in at the Washington County Sheriff's Office, and I learned just before 5 o'clock that, in fact, did take place, that she has turned herself in. Just want to explain these counts, these 8 charges that she faces, identical to charges that were levied on Joe earlier today. They are completely separate from what Joe Duggar faces, or Joseph Duggar faces, out of Panama City. That's an allegation that came forward someone 5 to 6 years later saying there was some inappropriate touching that took place and other situations connected to that. Tawnytown police tells me these alleged incidents, in their view, surfaced while they were helping Florida investigators through that case. So no specifics given as to when these incidents took place. But again,
I knew, Bliss, when I heard about the false imprisonment charges, I said it, and I said it in a DM. I think it was Michelle or somebody. I said it was for the kids. I knew it was for those kids and the wife, because she was under his control. And I do believe he was abusing those kids. Hey, my Cindy, happy birthday, girl. I do believe he was abusing those kids, and she was allowing it. She looks like a timid little person, but you didn't protect your kids. When Josh was arrested and all of this shit came out, that was your chance to go to the police and say, hey, this is how me and my kids are living. This is how we're being treated. This is what's going on with my children. That never happened. Instead, they run to Jim Bob's house and they all convert, and they're all just saying prayers, and they're all so shocked when you knew this man is disgusting. She shouldn't have to lock her kids in at night. Sorry. All I can say, all teachers, coaches, and yep, I wouldn't trust my kids with anybody these days. You can't, George. You can't. You cannot. And let me tell you, so Cindy, her last couple of streams have been on children, abandonment, women. And the last one really, really just hit me, because I remember seeing this woman on TikTok talking about how she didn't want to reconcile with her children, with her daughters. And Cindy, if you want to drop your link so people can look at that live stream, I really enjoyed it. I hate to say the word enjoyed, but it was a really good live stream.
That is ongoing. The investigation is ongoing. And Kendra, as I'm told, in the last half hour at least, was still visiting with Tawnytown police, but has turned herself in at the Washington County Jail, now facing 8 additional charges, just like her husband, based out of Washington County here in Tawnytown. Back to you.
They wanted a basketball team.
Doug. Joseph Duggar's sister, Jill Duggar Dillard, reacting to the news, stating her family is shocked and heartbroken.
No, you're not. I also have the cousin's reaction, Amy, who wrote the book and speaking about her grandfather and speaking about the family dynamics. So no, you're not shocked. You're not shocked, Jill. You knew about it because it was done to you. You weren't shocked. So stop it.
The situation, adding, quote, "We strongly condemn abuse. We support the rule of law and hope that justice will be achieved. Our hearts go out to the innocent juvenile victim of this unspeakable crime and her family."
Hold on. Do we believe she's the only one that he did this to? Do we believe this? No, I don't. So this is the footage for them.
Well, tonight, brand new charges filed against Joseph Duggar just days after he was charged with molestation in Florida. This time, charges now been filed in Washington County. And that's where we begin tonight. Good evening, and thanks for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Allie Lynch. And tonight, we've learned his wife has been charged as well. Our Doug Warner joins us live tonight outside of the Duggar compound there in Tawnytown. And Doug, you've been following this case all day for us.
Oh, that's
been a very long and very active day for Tawnytown police, to say the least. This again, just want to emphasize all of these charges, the beginnings of their investigating the case out of Florida that dates back to 2020, where a young person has come forward and
do you notice how we have not 1, not 2, but 3 cop cars there? And why, if you're just going to go serve the paperwork? I didn't think she was going to be arrested. They stated they were serving her paperwork, but they arrested her.
That Joseph Duggar touched her inappropriately while they were in Florida, Panama City Beach. During that investigation, they said they uncovered these alleged incidents. So basically they came to this compound that we're calling it. It's the one that was featured on the show, 19 Kids and Counting, for so many years. At the gate for at least half hour, the gate would not open. Then I'm told that they were told that she would turn herself in at the Washington County Jail, and I confirmed that just a short time ago that is what took place. She has turned herself in at the Washington County Jail. So with Joseph Duggar behind bars, awaiting extradition to go to Florida to face those sex crimes with a minor charge. Now he's faced with 8 additional counts, a combination of endangering the welfare of a minor, as well as in false imprisonment, both second degree. Those are the identical charges now his wife faced. I specifically asked, when did these alleged incidents take place? They could not give specifics. Obviously, this is still an active investigation, but it does seem to be, they allege, in recent history, as they also uncovered it just this week. We're going to stay on top of that. We're going to hear from the Taneytown Police coming up at 6 o'clock. We just, again, as we speak, Taneytown detectives visiting with Kendra Duggar at the Washington County Jail, where she's turned herself in to face those 8 misdemeanor charges, the same charges Joseph Duggar now faces behind bars as well.
So let's look at Joseph Duggar's intake video.
We'll check back in with
let's look at him. Oh, no. Okay.
Brigham is a member of the Duggar family, featured on the reality show 19 Kids and Counting, just appeared in Washington County Court this morning on child molestation charge.
4029's Cameron McCrory is live.
Now, here's my thing. They're not saying who the child is. They said while they were on vacation in Florida. Is this a relative to them? Is this somebody that a family friend? She was 9 years old at the time, and she just told her dad about it. Her dad called him. So that tells me you're either a family friend or a family member. And he admitted it. Then the dad goes to the sheriff's office, and they had him to call him on the phone, and he admitted it again. And that's when the warrant was issued.
Outside the courthouse right now, Cameron, what do we know?
Phil and Valerie, Joseph Duggar has waived his extradition. That's after appearing virtually in court this morning. The Washington County prosecutor.
And that's why Kendra wasn't in court with him. Everybody else was there. Kendra wasn't there because she was being booked.
Say it is now up to Bay County, Florida. He is their inmate. The Washington County Jail is holding him for Bay County until they can come retrieve him. They will have 30 days to come get him, but they will operate on their schedule. Live in Washington County, Cameron McCrory, 4029 News.
So he is now in Florida.
Charges filed Joseph Duggar just days after.
But this is in Washington County. He's already been extradited. He's already been extradited. He's now in Florida. They did not wait. Hi, Snuggle Bunny. Okay, from what I read, it was a family friend. The one, wait a minute, that jumped. The one Jim was friends with and had a falling out with several years ago, but I can't remember his name. That's what I was thinking. It had to be a family friend or some family member because they had his number. Oh, you think Jim Bob was on the island too? Probably his daddy, but this is his intake video. This is at Washington County. Hi, the Shannon. The Shannon, did you hear that Kendra, the wife, was arrested as well? She's arrested and released, but she has 8 counts, child endangerment and false imprisonment. Oh my God, Shannon. I think the whole family needs to come down. The Shannon has a really good channel as well. So if you guys want to drop her link for me, I would appreciate it. Hi, I don't see Just a Gal, but oh, there you go. The Bates family. Oh my God. Just a Gal. Okay. Let me look into them too. I've heard. Let's see what's going on with the Bates family. The Shannon has a really good channel as well, guys. She covers a lot of true crime. And we're going to get into JLR real soon after we go through this. Welcome in, Just a Gal. No, Amy came out. Oh, I need to get Amy's thing. Amy came out and she made a statement. And when she wrote, I just read an excerpt from her book when she was talking about Jim Bob's dad, her grandpa. And the grandma knew, the grandmother knew that her husband was a pedo. So you're going to tell me Jim Bob didn't diddle with his family too? Get out of here. Yep, she was 9. Yep, she did a great interview. Good morning, Diamond Cutter. Welcome in. This is Joseph Duggar's intake video at Washington County in Arkansas. Oh my God, Flava. How far? I want to know how far are those people from Flava? Ugh. Exactly, Sassy. Exactly. Oh, just to go. She's all in this mess, girl. You are welcome in chat. I'm trying to go back to what I love to do, and that's to cover current cases, cold cases, reality TV, and I'm just trying to get back into doing what I really like to do. Yep, they are in Arkansas. So this is still in Arkansas. He's now in Florida. They wasted no time in coming to get him. This is sad. Let me see. But that's him in the intake. That's it. They're just doing paperwork. That's all they're doing. Thank you, Bliss. That's what I was going to say, Sassy. They don't believe in divorce or wearing pants, but this is learned. It is learned behavior. It is learned behavior. Because if what Amy is saying is true, and I don't know why she would lie, she wrote that about her grandpa. That means her grandma knew he had a tendency to like young girls or young children. So if grandma knew, that's Jim Bob's daddy and his mama. Jim Bob probably has the same inclinations. And that's what I'm thinking. And that is my opinion. Oh, I've been making a time putting okay, just a gal. Do you want to come up? I can drop the link for you because I would love to hear your timeline. So Josh goes to jail goes to prison for passing and receiving child pornography, not for indecency with his sisters and the babysitter when they were younger. They're all gross. And yes, and she stood, you know what? I understand Tammy Wynette, was it, saying stand by your man? And then Benny King did it as well. But no, honey, if you place a danger, just like I think Sassy said, if you place a danger to my children, you've got to get the fuck out. Ooh, Wisco gal. Oh my God. I didn't even think of that. I can't at the moment. Oh, you have 4 kids, girl. Take care of your kids. I think Jim Bob is not as innocent as he wants to portray himself to be. There is no way you don't know this. The Shannon, if anybody wants to come up, just let me know and I'll drop the link for you. But that was his intake video. And my whole thing is, where there's smoke, there's fire. And then here is Amy. Hold on. This is coming from Entertainment Tonight. And I really don't care if I get hit. I really, really don't care. But I want you guys to hear what Amy had to say. So let me just pause this real quick. And this was on Entertainment Tonight. I'll add the description and stuff after I finish. Hold on. Share my screen. There we go. I'm glad I have a touch screen because my silent mouse is starting to act up. And I'm going to have to switch and use my other mouse. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. Let me plug in my other mouse. It's semi-quiet, but my silent mouse is acting up right now. And I don't know why, because it's fully charged. So I don't know why it'll be acting up. So let's go. All right, here we go.
Your reaction when you heard this news about your cousin Joseph?
To be honest, I was absolutely and utterly broken. It's like, it's extremely heartbreaking to know that someone who you once had so much fun with, who you loved, who you know, he has such a great personality, could ever become allegedly, you know, a predator. And so it is really, really hard to take in. And I'm honestly having a very hard time.
Oh my God, Wendy.
But at the same time, I'm also not surprised that something like this was bound to happen again.
Okay. She says she's not surprised. Okay, Amy, what do you know that you're not telling us? You've already spoke on your grandfather. What do you know that you're not telling us? Her hair is gorgeous.
Because when you're in a toxic cycle and a pattern, and that's just what happens because you are sworn to secrecy, you know, accountability is just something that is not, it's not approved.
Did you ever have any suspicions about Joseph?
I had zero suspicions. He is the last person in the entire family that I ever saw something like that ever.
So she had zero suspicion of him because he was the last one in the family that she ever thought would do something like that. But what about the other people in your family, Amy? Oh, Jesus.
Why is that? Why do you think that you saw a different version than what's now being said about him?
He was joyful. He was fun. We had inside jokes. He was the laugh of the party. He was so kind and so humble and so great. And so it really hurts so deep knowing that it's Joe.
You said obviously this news is very heartbreaking too. How are you digesting everything? How do you wrap your mind around something of this magnitude?
I honestly think anyone that is healthy and is a sane person cannot wrap their head around hurting a 9-year-old.
You can't.
I mean, she was 9. And I think first and foremost, we have to acknowledge the fact of how brave this young girl is for coming forward and talking.
Took her 5 years.
And saying this isn't right and wanting justice.
I think Jed and Joe,
if this whole
I think
thing
Joe too,
is
Michelle.
True, and you know it does.
Well, Joe,
I can't wrap my head around it. It's just something that I hate that it's happening again.
And you mentioned
it's going to happen again.
Saying again, and you have talked about the system and accountability. How would you, especially for people who may not be familiar with this system, right? How would you describe the toxic system that some of your cousins and family members have been trapped in?
I wrote Holy Disruptor, my memoir, about this toxic system. And I talk about how there's no accountability held for the men. There never has been, and there probably never will be unless the police get involved. And it's so sad, but these men can make up any kind of rules that they would like to, and that goes for the whole entire household. and no one questions it. They're not allowed to. They are superior to everyone else. And so it is heartbreaking because no one can stand up to them. They are shamed, they are silenced, and it is completely toxic.
So when accountability is, happening in real time, while it is your family member, how does that sit with you?
I can be heartbroken for the person I thought someone was, and I've had to do it before. But at the same time, I want justice to be served. I want
you think her
that
eyes are
victim,
darting back
that
and forth?
sweet
I'm
little
watching her
girl, to
eyes
know
now.
that her voice matters and that someone is
Hi,
going to be
Renee.
held
Welcome.
accountable to it because of it. And I want
and you see, that's the stigma I don't like. Not even not just the churches, okay? It's when a woman is hard, okay? And they'll say, well, look look how you were dressed. No, it doesn't matter how I'm dressed. Men are hard as well. But when you're blaming the victim, no, no, hell no. I don't care how she was dressed. I really don't. Even hookers can be hard. Seriously. Even hookers can be hard. Look at all of these members of the churches. And we're going to talk about these congressmen and all of these sheriffs and people that are in authority. We're talking about people that take advantage of children that I'm not going to say that come from broken homes, but they're not secure within their environment. They offer, they show themselves as, hey, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you through this. You can always rely on me. Thank you, Bliss Chris. I don't care if she was butt ass naked. No is no. But when we're talking about children, same way with Arctic Fox, who sat there and was grooming this young boy, 14 years old, and his mother had to show the text telling him to take his mother's dildo and stick up his butt in the shower, offering to meet this young boy someplace. But you were just trying to get out the conversation. And then when you said on your live that as soon as your husband turned 18, you married him, that's when I knew there was something wrong with him. They abuse that position. You have scout leaders, and Susan Bachata said it earlier. Scout leaders, church leaders. You have you have cops that abuse their authority. You have judges that abuse their authority. You have teachers that we've seen over the years that are this one lady just got arrested last week for having sex in her classroom with a teen. And there are cameras in these classrooms. But I guess she thought she turned off no, they still have cameras that you don't know about. This, Amy Famey, you're taking advantage of vulnerable kids, people, period. Period. And these kids are on TikTok, they're on Roblox, and they're being groomed, thinking they're playing with kids their own age. No, grown ass men are in these rooms seducing these kids. Look at what's his name? Stefan, that killed Madeline. He was on Reddit in a teen's room, giving advice to teen girls. Hi, Eamon Collins. Welcome from Ireland. Welcome. Anna Collins, welcome. You have, they find these kids. They're taking advantage of our kids. So This is crazy. I'm so sorry, Asa. Amazing they forgot Jesus preaching adultery. And if the now it's in the Bible that a man shouldn't lay with a man. That's in the Bible. That is in the Bible. There is nothing in the Bible about women having to wear dresses. Yes, I read the Bible. So let's finish this.
I just want the truth to be told. The truth has been so hard to find in my family. It's something that has always been hidden. I
Why
talk
don't
about
you
it in my
tell the
book
truth?
again. This is not
What have you
something
seen?
that it has happened one time. Okay, it's not contained to one person. It is a tree of toxicity.
Exactly.
2 brothers and 1 tree.
Look at this. He's smirking. He's upset he was caught. This is Josh. This is Joseph. Why is Josh smirking? Why? And then I was listening to KK's live this morning. Oh yeah, shit show. I caught your slip. And the guy 111 has been arrested. Remember, I kept telling you how he was doing all these shit on Vegas Valley's panel, and they were encouraging all of this stuff. Well, he has now been arrested. He was arrested on March 19th. And he's being held for another jurisdiction to pick him up. I was understanding that he was making SWAT calls saying that people had off themselves and they had a gun. They had off other people, and they were waiting for the police to show up. I said before that young man should not have been on that panel. I said before he has serious issues, but they kept encouraging him and kept trying to say, "Oh no, don't do that." And that I think his name is Dr. Chang or Dr. Chin. He's another one that needs to go because he was doing the encouragement as well. He should be held accountable as well.
You know what I mean? And so the roots run deep.
No, they're not the only predators for
But I will
Shannon.
always say this:
Shannon,
the
if you want to
light
come up,
will
I'll
always
let
be
you out.
exposed. It can always expose the darkness. And the light is shining real bright right now. And I
So what do you
just
know
wanting
that you're not
answers for the
telling us?
victims. And my heart goes out to Kendra so much because she is one.
Wait a minute. Her heart goes out to Kendra, who's just been charged with 8 counts. Okay. Wait a minute. When did this interview take place? 15 hours ago. Well, I guess you didn't know that Kendra turned herself in, right?
Wonderful. She is beautiful. She's the kind of kindness that I wish I had sometimes, you know?
Yes,
And
just
so I just
well, what in her book she states, hold on a second. I'm gonna read this part again. I'm gonna read this excerpt again from her book. So grandpa was a pedo and an alcoholic. He was physically abusive, and he would R the neighbor's teenage daughter in the pool. He did it to many girls. The family would just keep his bad behavior a secret. There's a pattern there. So, in the book, she states, I couldn't sit with him on a couch and watch a movie. I couldn't be alone with him in a car. I couldn't practice my cheerleading routines in the living room or wear a bathing suit to sunbathe outside. I couldn't even play Barbies in front of him because my grandma didn't want me to risk showing him their naked bodies. We're talking about Barbie dolls, okay? They didn't want to risk grandpa seeing a naked Barbie doll. Okay. Above all, I could not, under any circumstances, step foot into his bedroom. Now, notice she said his bedroom, not their bedroom. His bedroom, not their bedroom. I couldn't step foot into his bedroom or take a bath or shower unless my grandma was home. I wasn't allowed to have friends hang out, and sleepovers were strictly off limits. So tell me that family does have no idea what was going on. Grandpa was an alcoholic and a pedo. Oh my God, Anna, thank you. I didn't know. Thank you. She knows it all and she's not telling. This was recorded before. Okay, that's what I was thinking, Michelle. That was before Kendra got charged. Hi, Virgie. Good morning. In Deuteronomy, that man will not lie with man. Yep, it says it. Women with women, men with children. Yep, it does. It says it in the Bible. In Deuteronomy, people. So I'm telling you, I read the Bible. Y'all, I used to read the Catholic version, and then I read the New Testament too. But yes, it's in the Bible. So if an organized religious man change lay with a man to a child makes one thing, religiously is basically man-made. Well, the way they're doing it now, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say man-made. Makes one thing back to school days when there were kids not allowed to have sleepovers. Ooh. If my son came in his chat, he would tell you he wasn't allowed to go to anybody's house for a sleepover. I did that one time because I knew they were going to be up all night playing, and I was right around the corner and I would go check. But if they wanted to sleep, they can come over to my. I would not allow sleepovers. When my granddaughter was here, she wanted to go spend a night at one of her friends' house. I didn't know them. I went to the house. I met the dad. I met the mom. I talked to them. I didn't get any kind of, well, at this time she's 15. So I didn't get any kind of weird vibes from them. And she's got a phone. She's got everything. Did I sleep really well? Well, yeah, that night I did. That morning, because they were going to the lake, and I just, nope. But that was the first time she actually slept over at somebody's house. And my son almost had, I was like, I went over, I met them, I talked to them. I said, trust me, if I would have got a bad feeling, I would have told you about it. And he was like, okay. So she, she had a good time. She went with them. So I don't encourage that.
I pray for her children and everyone involved that there will be answers and there will be justice.
Have you spoken to Kendra?
I have not. I've sent a text, a very polite, small text that just said, I'm here for you. I love you. And I'm truly, you're in my prayers. I can't even imagine to process this type of grief and this kind of loss. And if this is true, if this situation is true, I can't imagine her next steps, but the door is always open on my end for anyone that wants to have a heart-to-heart talk, and I will support them and be genuine about it. And
my question for her is this. So Olivia Plath, I just received this too. Olivia Plath, when they did an interview in 2023, she said that they were connected to the Duggars because they live by the same rules as the Institute in Basic Life Principles. She said she struggled over the years to identify how we grew up. She said during an Instagram live on June 6th, joined by Sister Lydia, I think my parents were hesitant to use the label, but we grew up in that world. So like I said, they remind me of the Platts. The Platts remind me of the Duggars. Hi, Chantel. So we're going to see. But she said they didn't listen to Bill Gothard, but you were raised with those same principles. I don't like the way, remember I kept telling you, I don't like the way, I forgot, what's the oldest one? Ethan looks at Mariah. I don't like the way he looks at Mariah at all. And the fact that he was talking to her about that little fork, you know what I mean? That was really cringy when we saw that scene on the screen from Welcome to Platteville. The way he looks at Mariah makes me sick to my stomach. And I've been saying this. So there's something wrong with that family as well. Exactly, Just a Gal. Sounds like Amy knows his family should have been kept away from everyone. Exactly. Hi, make love, not war. I'm sorry. They don't believe in birth control. They need to. So the same doctrine, yes. Exactly, Drea. He acts like a jealous boyfriend. Um, the Platts were quiverful, but it's all basically the same thing, just a different branch. Okay. Hi, Jen and Barrett. Welcome. Okay, so let's finish this.
It's awful that this is round 2, it looks like.
What
It's
about
going
your
to be
other
round
family
3,
members and your
around 4.
cousins? Are there certain people that you
Exactly.
are
That's what I
leaning
was
on right
just
now in
saying,
this moment,
Michelle.
and you guys are kind of bonding together and banding together almost
No, they're not.
as support for each other?
They're doing cover up. They're doing cover up. I want to know what would have happened if that dad hadn't gone to the police after he confronted Joseph. Did Joseph think by confessing to the dad that that was going to be the end of it? What did he do to this 9-year-old? Did he play with her below? Did he actually penetrate? What did he do? Is what I want to know. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but you're being extradited. So it had to be a lot more than just touching. You know what I mean?
You guys all navigate this.
Well, I will have to say that boundaries are very important, and I have cut ties with a lot of my family because boundaries are so important for this exact reason. And so for me,
Oh,
I
thank you, Jessica
have not
Gal.
reached out to any family members except for Jill. And Jill and I have cried together, talked about it, you know, shared that moment together,
Yes.
and just
Joseph confessed to the father. Once he admitted to the father what he did, the father went to the police. They had him to call him again, and they heard it themselves. And that's when the warrant was issued. They hid Josh for years. Who else are they hiding? Yep, they sending the Bible. Why would you be sending this pedo to a Bible camp? So I'm just like, they've been doing cover up for a long time. A long time. They've probably been doing payouts as well to keep people quiet.
it
Ooh,
just
it's time to
mentally
for you.
is so hard to accept.
Jill, of course,
Jessica Gal,
is
do
a
you have a
victim herself.
channel?
I mean, for her,
Because I would love to
how triggering
subscribe.
is this for her? You mentioned you two cried together. I imagine wounds almost reopen in a moment like this.
I'm not going to speak for Jill, but I will say that I know that it probably is opening up just all kinds of emotions and all kinds of painful moments. You
Is
know,
Grandpa dead
I
now?
just it's very hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
But how is it
Very
hard to comprehend when you wrote in your book your grandpa was a pedo and your grandma knew? How is that hard to comprehend? That's what I don't understand. You knew your grandpa was a pedo. He was a drunk. He hired the neighbor's daughter. And they did payouts. No, it's not hard to comprehend. Your family is fucked up. It's disgusting.
hard to process it. I think for all of us, if I can say that.
Yeah. What about Jessa? Are you in touch with her at all, or was that the boundary as well?
There will be no contact.
Josh had released actually a statement from jail per his attorney, and I want to read it to you and get your reaction. Per his attorney, Josh says he understands the stigma of being accused, and his attorney adds that Josh and Joseph are not in frequent communication, but...
Hold on a second. You understand the stigma of being accused. Your sisters came forward and said what you did to them when they were younger. They found all kind of images of young children on your phone. That is not being accused. You are no longer accused. You are convicted. What is it? 12 years, 20 years? You are convicted. It's not being accused. You were found guilty by the preponderance of the evidence against you. Jesus.
Josh does hope and pray for his brother's well-being in this difficult time. What do you make of that statement?
See, here's what I'm saying. Homosexuality has been going on for centuries. Even back in Napoleon days, even in some Eastern countries, they believe that men are for pleasure and women are for having kids. That's why when you see all these guys like on 90 Day Fiance and they're marrying all these American women, because look at Adnan. I think that he's in the closet. I think Adnan is gay. So I think he's gay. I think he's gay. In a lot of Eastern countries, men are for pleasure. Women are to have your babies. So homosexuality isn't something that just started. It's been going on since Napoleon. Then I hear that Cesar Chavez did some sexual misconduct too. These people are sick. All of this stuff is coming out.
Open right now.
My face, I cannot hide my emotions with my face. I will just say, if you ask me, and I'm just going to be flat out honest with you, I think that is absolutely a delusional state of mind. I think that toxic patterns have a way of showing up, especially because they don't believe in actual healing and actual therapy. So when abuse takes place, it just trickles down the line because hurt people hurt people.
Okay.
So you cannot tell me.
If you know it trickles down the line, what else do you know that you're not telling? Because I guess I'm going to see you soon. Yep, the ancient Greeks are proud of it. I guess I'm going to see you soon when another one of your family members gets accused of touching young girls, maybe even young boys. So let's see how surprised your face will be then.
That Josh is in prison for no reason, and you cannot tell me that now Joseph is arrested for no reason.
Yeah,
what
you can't.
Was Joseph like when all of the cameras weren't?
Yep, they were doing it with the animals too.
He wasn't. He actually was. I mean, just so funny. I can't even tell you. We've had so many inside jokes. He always helped. He always was like Mr. Fix-It. He always.
Okay, I'm sick of hearing her now.
Hung out and was just
again,
so fun.
If you guys want to go finish listening to this,
he had the best personality.
I have a feeling that she knows a lot more than what she's saying, and she's not going to put it out there. But when another family member gets arrested, you're going to see her face all over the place because she's going to have so much to say. Gotta head out. It's absolutely, oh my God, it's beautiful in Baltimore today. So taking the kiddos out. So are you going to go to the Inner Harbor? I love the Inner Harbor. I remember when they first redid it. I love the Inner Harbor. I don't know if it still looks the same because I didn't go when I was there last time. Interesting question. Is this family, which is considered the worst sin, homosexual or sex crimes against children? Sex crimes against children, I think, would be the worst sin, the Shannon. I think it'll be the worst. Shit show, did you hear what I said? Have a great day, kiddos, bless. Yes, have fun with the kiddos, bless. I heard your slip up, shit show, when I re-listened to KK's, when I listened to KK's this morning. So wait a minute. So you think homosexuality is the worst sin than sex with kids or taking advantage of kids? See, I'm getting that feeling, Susie. Something is telling me she's not saying everything that she knows. And I don't want to listen to her anymore because you're sitting there talking about a trickle down effect. All of them should be investigated. I was like, no, he did not. I mean, in this family, in that family, which is worse. Yeah, homosexuality to them would probably be worse than sleeping with a child. You're right. In the Duggars frame of, it with their frame of thinking. Yes, I get it now. I thought you were asking a general question. I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about Aunt Kathy's story time. See, everybody, yep, for that family, it'll be homosexuality. See, I didn't get it. Well, I didn't read it correctly. I guess it came across like you were just asking a question. But yet, yes, in the Duggar family, homosexuality would be the worst sin. I get it. Michelle's sister is a lesbian. I seriously doubt the family associates with her and they're disown any of their own kids if they were gay. Oh my God. Really? Okay. So we have that. Now, I really want to talk about JLR and then we're going to go over to the other predators. I want to talk about JLR. Okay. If you guys remember when I was covering like the Murdaugh case and there was another case, and Mike, I promise I meant, AC, I'm laughing about it. I think it's funny too, but I think it's funny because what started off as a joke has turned into something totally different. Now we are all the same page. I bet out of 19 kids, one of them is gay. Probably so. Yes. And that is so sick because as an adult, you have a choice. A child does not. You're right, Virgie. Good morning, Gamecock Jenny. A child doesn't have a choice. Like you heard, I don't know if you remember when I played about the grandpa who went up for parole. It was on a Mandu channel, and he said that his granddaughter had climbed on his face like she wanted him to do it. She was 7 years old. Oh, you know all about JLR. So, JLR, let me just tell you guys. Everybody knows his real name, so it won't be bad if I put it out there. Would it be bad if I put it out there? Would it? Should I put it out there? So this man has been on all kind of federal probation for scamming. He has been he's a fucking criminal. He's a grifter. He's a liar. Okay? A grifter. He's a liar. And now he is an abuser, which maybe it's happened before and we just didn't know about it, but he is an abuser. Hi, Protein Queen Amber. He's now an abuser. And I'm sure this is not the first time, but now we're hearing about it. So then I'm listening to White Boy Radio, okay? And, there was a lot of people in his comments after his video was saying that you need to show proof that it's true. You need to show proof that he did this. You need to do this. You need to do that. Until they see it in writing, it's not true. Well, here we go. Let's have it in writing. Here is the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Here is the report. Now, she goes by Magnolia, okay? But her name is here, the complainant. I didn't take it out, okay? Jamie is her name, okay? We have assault, no weapon, aggravated injury, harassment, IDV interference with a domestic violence report because he took her phone, still has it from what I understand, and wouldn't let her call the police. And here is the suspect, Jonathan Lee Richies. Now, that's just not it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at her eye. Let's take a look at her eye. Let's take a look what JLR did to Magnolia. Since nobody wants to believe this happened. Now, that happened on Christmas Day of 2025, and he was trying to bury it. This is Magnolia's eye. See, that's what I'm saying. When he was peeping in people's windows and everything else. This is what he did to Magnolia's eye. Hi, officially, Charlie D. Welcome. I'm telling you, he is trash. I think he holds, what is it? He holds the Guinness record for the most lawsuits. And then he don't bullhorn Betty for Magnolia. Bullhorn Betty has been passed around because she even slept with Dolly Vision. Come on. Yes, that's the JLR. Jonathan Lee Riches. Riches. And if you go in his chat and people were going in and mentioning it, he was blocking them. That's what he did to Magnolia. Hi, Twisted Ginger. Good morning. Hi, Joe Dude. How are you? Is that a picture of Square? Yep. You know all about him, don't you? So I had pulled up his record, and God knows I can't. I have so many tabs open right now. I can't find it. This one was in West Virginia. Hold on. Let me drop this link if you guys want to go, because his record is lengthy. And all of these people that are in that chat, and they're going, that didn't happen. We need to see proof. Oh, well, honey, now you have proof. Now what are you going to say? JLR is a criminal. He's a convicted felon. That's public record. He is a convicted felon. I give no fucks. I remember, JLR has it. I said, nope, I don't want to play his shit. I don't like him. He's a fraudster. He is a fraud. A fraud. And guess what? It actually made the New York Post. It's in the New York Post. It made the New York Post. And people are still following him, who's sitting there making money off the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Okay, we have him, we have Dolly, they're out there, they're making money off this man. Off this woman's disappearance. He's disgusting. I don't like him. When he was covering the whole Micah Miller situation, I did not like him. I didn't care for him because he's another, and yeah, he's a tragedy pimp. So let me drop this link so you can read all about JLR. And every time he gets into trouble, like White Boy said, he goes to another state. The reason he goes to another state, most police departments are not going to come in and extradite you. Paula, I just saw you alive. Please be careful. Use, in my opinion. Okay. Well, I'm talking about his record. It's not my opinion. These are records. These records are public. Now, as far as him actually doing allegedly what he's supposed to have done to Magnolia. Okay, I'm going to say allegedly in that case, but this is what she's claiming. So I'm only going by what she's claiming. But there's an article in the New York Post this morning, well, came out yesterday. They were talking about there's one case true crime YouTuber JLR investigates isn't covering. Ex's allegations he beat and strangled her. Now, I also heard that Magnolia used to work for another group and she was trying to allegedly set up senators and stuff, so they had to get rid of her. Good morning, Mod 148. Yeah, he's making bank on her. Hi, pretty dragon fruit pack. Girl, you don't change your name again. Allegedly. So he isn't covering that. He's a creep. And that's not in my opinion. That's my feelings. He's a creep. You can't hurt me for my feelings. I feel that he's a creep. Never did like him. Never cared. I don't know what it is. I watched him one time and something about him just didn't sit right with me. And I never went back to his channel. And I think that was when I was doing Murdaugh. I think that's when I was doing the Murdaugh case. So, if Magnolia decides to do a live on her channel, and I can't remember her channel, I'm gonna have to find it, or if she decides to go live with White Boy Radio, okay, I will be in the chat. Also, yesterday, AC, I replayed Paula's live when you were up on panel with JoJo. I have never heard one person try to twist something to meet his narrative like he did. Please use caution, use in my own. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll do that. I heard JoJo. That's another one I just don't care for. I heard the way he was twisting stuff. I was like, and these dummies, I'm not going to say dummies, these people that listen to this and twist, and I'm listening to you on the panel, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? So then it ended. So I don't want to go to Vegas Valley, but the little part, hi, Mod 148, the little part that I did hear, oh, thank you, official Charlie D. The little part that I did hear, I heard the twisting and the stuff when he's trying to meet his narrative. And to me, yeah, and then trying to overtalk and then try to sneak in little digs. That shit was for the birds. That's true too, Jew dude. In 2016, he filed a lawsuit against Gabriel Giffords while posing as Jared Loughner, the man who attempted to assassinate. He later described this act as a joke in bad taste. What? I didn't know that one. I won't camp in front of a house for content. No way in hell. Well, hi Claudia. I also heard that he had gone to the motel where Candace and I forgot. Candace Wells and her husband was banging on the door, and that's when Candace called the police. Yeah, okay. I'm just like, these people are strictly disgusting, and that's what you call a tragedy pimp. Yeah, she's coming in with facts. I'm looking at that. AC, you should have stopped it at Paula's. We missed you. Okay. Don't start, you dude. The Guinness Book of World Records was going to put him in the book for being the most litigious person, but he said he'd sue them if they did it. Yeah, I understand he likes to sue. Yep, that's him. That's him. And I told her about him. He has been banned from filing cases in at least a dozen federal districts. Damn. Who is Magnolia? Her name is Jamie. She was his, at the time, girlfriend. Um, her name is Jamie Phillips, but she goes by Magnolia on YouTube. Molly Golightly has been talking about Dolly and PJ Vision a lot too. Can someone drop Paula's link? Yeah, I didn't like that. Okay. Did somebody drop Paula's link before I go get it, please? Hold on. Let me grab. I got to get on my other screen. Let me grab Paula's link for you guys. Paula has 55 million damn channels, okay? I can't sue nothing in his name. His girl owns it all. Damn. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get Paula's link. Yeah, don't come in starting no stuff, okay? Please don't do that. Hold on, let me get Paula's link. So if you go to this channel, Louisiana High Ride, and then she has another channel. Yeah, Molly is back. I saw that. Yep, she's back. She's on Rumble. She's on Rumble. And then Paula has another channel with Carol. And I think the channel is called, well, not think, the channel is called Horseface. Hold on, let me get you that link as well. Let me get Horseface. No problem, Paula. This is the other link for Paula's other channel. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's Paula's. Funny, funny, funny. Hi. I haven't seen you before. Thank you. So anyway, we have that on JLR. Now, Wes, does anybody know who Wes Watson is? Does anybody know who Wes? What? Wait a minute. He sued Britney Spears. Wait a minute. Molly isn't going anywhere. Oh, she was on YouTube early this morning. I knew she was on Rumble too. Thank you, funny, funny, funny. Wait a minute. He sued Britney Spears for what? Oh my God. I don't mean to laugh. Yes, he is. He is. And it's not, in my opinion, it's the paperwork that's out there, it's all the federal cases, it's the fact that he was picked up out of his jurisdiction. He was on federal probation, he served time. Yeah. And from my understanding, from what White Boy was talking about this morning, he's losing a lot of subscribers. Now, I haven't gone to look at his subscriber count, but I thought he was over 500K, like 537 or something like that. I don't know what Molly's YouTube. Does anybody know what Molly's YouTube channel is? I just know that she was talking about it because White Boy was showing what she was talking about with Dolly and PJ, and the fact that PJ had sent that picture out of her black eye, which it was healing, was still swollen, but can't say that Dolly did it because you don't know what the time frame is, but it was during that time when she was with that person. So, yes. And one thing I don't do is spam my chat. Don't do that. Don't spam my chat. Don't spam my chat. Don't do it. Let's see. Okay, so we had Wes Watson, but I don't know if I want to cover Wes Watson right now because to me, he is a little, he should have never come out. He's another criminal. But let's look at this. Now, these are all, if my share screen will work for me, That'll be great. All right. Let me show you this other predator. Okay. Let me show you this other predator. Corey Lusk. This is in Georgia. This man was convicted of 5 counts of child molestation. 5 counts of child molestation. Guess who Corey Lux is? He molested a 9-year-old girl for 2 years. Who's Corey Lux? He was at the insurrection. That's who Corey Lux is. That's who Corey Lux is. Then we have this piece of trash right here. He had predator written all over him. Yes, predator written all over him. We've got a councilman that was charged with sex crimes. He's another mega. And I'm not saying that they don't have, see, unlike some people, I know the difference between a Republican and a mega person. There's a big difference, a big difference. So this man, once it pops up, let's put this on the screen.
Distributing sex crimes involving a Waracre City Council member behind bars now facing official charges for distributing sex crimes children.
KOCO's Jason is live in Waracre tonight. Jason, court documents have more details on this.
Yeah, Jason Cole was arrested in early December, but charges against him were just filed last week. He was only on Waracre City Council for a couple months.
Charges officially filed against Waracre.
Does he look like a pedo too? Oh, yes. Doesn't he look creepy?
Waracre's Ward 4 City Councilman Jason Cole. He faces a charge for first-degree rape and 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child under 16. According to new court documents, there are 3 victims, and along with the charges, Cole is accused of inappropriately touching minors and showing them pornography. One of them told investigators, quote, "The defendant has shown her these videos on his cell phone as well as television." The victims were known to Cole and the incidents were not random. The court documents also say investigators interviewed a witness in the case. They say, quote, "She caught the defendant showing a victim pornography on his phone." Search warrants were served at a Waracre's address for Cole on December 8th, and that's when police took him into custody.
Now, Cole had only been on the city council here in Waracre since September, and he is currently in custody in the Oklahoma County Jail. In Waracre's Jason Berger, KOCO 5 News.
So we have all of these pedos that are running out here, and everybody think, oh, see, it doesn't high M to the B. It doesn't have to be, how do I put this? You can't trust anybody with your kids. No one with your kids. So the last link I dropped, this was a lawsuit. He was seeking $92,000 because somebody was speaking negative, and then 10 million for defamation of character. So I dropped those links so you guys can go read for yourself. Don't take my word about it, but these are the cases for JLR. You don't have to take my word for it. Please do your own research, and you will find him just like I did. You will find him just like I did. So again, we don't care about. And then, oh, I forgot this one case that we had with the babysitter that tortured a young child. Yep, in Arkansas. In Arkansas. We have so many of these cases that it's really disgusting. That you see this going on, and I do believe that there's more to come out as far as the Duggar family is concerned, because like Amy said, it trickles down. Hurt people, and I'm so sick of hearing hurt people, because if you were hurt as a child, why would you want to turn around and victimize another child? You're an adult. Even as an adult, if you're hurt or something is done to you, if you know how that made you feel, why would you want to turn around and do that to someone else? Thank you, Mod 148. That's what I don't understand. I just don't understand that. So I'm so sick of hearing about hurt people, because Viper is a great, that's a lesson right there. Viper was hurt. He was abused as a kid. He hasn't abused anyone. He's fighting to get these priests and all these people that abused him as a kid, because of the statute of limitations have run out. They're trying to put another law into place to get these child molesters. He hasn't hurt anyone. He hasn't hurt anyone. So I don't want to hear anything but hurt people, hurt people. Just like I'm so sick of hearing about people's mental health. I give no fucks. That's your mental health. Everybody goes through shit. Not every day, but everybody goes through shit. Your mental health is your mental health, not mine. Yes, you would want to break that cycle. You definitely want to break that cycle. Exactly. Some people fight to change the system. Some people, like you see, a lot of women that were brought up in certain environments, and men too, they fight their way to do better for their kids, because they don't want their kids to go through what they went through. And there shouldn't be any statute of limitations on those crimes. There shouldn't be. Some states have enacted new legislature for it, and they've taken off the statute of limitations. Never protect a predator. People that prey, PREY, on other people are the most disgusting people that's just that's my feelings. When you manipulate, you prey, and I can say we see this all the time. We even see it on YouTube. We see the manipulation. We see how people prey on others to pull at their heartstrings. I don't even have to call any names. That's why I say, let us pray. I wish anyone struggling with mental health is whatever form a peaceful life, but your mental health is not. No, it's not. I separated from family to never give them the chance to hurt my. See, sometimes you have to do that. When I left my first marriage, and y'all think I'm kidding, that song that came out, I'm Leaving You for Me, I had to leave for my own mental health. I didn't like the stalking. I didn't like the over obsessiveness. I didn't like the jealousy. I had to leave for my own sanity. That's true, Teddy. My forever question: at what point does a potential victim become a victimizer versus a survivor? Whenever I fly over Ohio or Arkansas, I say a prayer. Please, God, don't take this plane down here. Oh my God, Susie, I thought you stop. Heidi, I can chat, but I sent you another thing to watch later. Hey, yeah, okay, Jody, thank you. Oh, damn, Game Hack Jenny. But I'm saying, so let's just watch this and then I'm going to but the Duggars, I will be following really, really close. I'm going to look at the Bates family as well. We saw what happened with, I forgot the damn family with her and her mentor are now in jail. And God knows I covered that. I don't know why my brain just went blank. Heck, what's her name? Hexeth? I forgot her name. The one that was tied to the LDS church. Um, we saw all of that happen. Sometimes you have to leave in order. Yes, you do. And that's been my motto on Kathy Storytime for the longest. You have to leave to live in order for you to live and breathe. I distanced myself from my sister because my mental health was going down. Now I'm back talking to her because the loss of her son, but I'm stronger now when it comes to her. Oh, Chantel. Just saying. Aunt Kathy, I'm sorry. I hope you're. And that's what I was going to ask. Aunt Kathy, are you, well, from what I'm reading, she's at peace now. If you had to do that in order for you to live and breathe, she's at peace. I mean, I'm sure it might bother her or hurt her that she's not in contact with family, but sometimes you have to do what's right for you. You have to do what's right for you. Fuck what anybody else has to say, and they'll guilt trip you. And I keep going back to that lady who gave up her daughter for adoption. To me, I think with the way she was talking, I think she did the best thing for herself and her daughter because she would have wound up regretting that little girl and she probably would have done something to that little girl. Now, I don't know if everybody, so I'm going to change the subject real quick. Beauty in Black is back on. The second half of the second season is back on. And oh my God, I did not realize that the mother is the one that set her son's house to be robbed because she needs money. But we'll talk about Beauty in Black. Okay, let's get to this.
Shocked the community of Martha's Vineyard. The toddler was allegedly left alone in a car for hours without food or water. And police ultimately charged a trusted babysitter with his death. Tonight, in an exclusive interview with WBZ's chief investigator, Cheryl Fiandaca, that little boy's father is demanding justice.
And I don't blame you, Aunt Kathy.
I love you. I love you.
Matt Rodenbaugh's son Frankie was a mini-me, 2 years old and a ball of energy.
What are you doing, Frank? Are we gonna go let the donkeys out?
Every day I'd come home from work and he would, hear me coming and the dogs would bark and he'd run to the gate here and yell "Dada" and big huge hug. He'd hug everyone.
I feel like my damn little kid.
Just a super happy little kid.
The family used a well-known and trusted babysitter on Martha's Vineyard to watch Frankie during the day. Amy Cotton came highly recommended.
We've known her for over 10 years. She watched my daughter, who's now 6, for the first 3 years of her life. I mean, she was somebody really close to us and somebody we trusted.
On March 13, 2025, the 41-year-old brought Frankie to her home here on Great Rock Road in Oak Bluffs. Hours later, she allegedly dialed 911, saying Frankie stopped breathing.
Oh.
Matt's wife, Julie, called him at work.
I have something else I want to show you guys.
Frankie's in an ambulance. He's not breathing. I just kept saying, what do you mean? Like, what happened? I don't know, and he called me crying.
Frankie was airlifted to Boston Children's Hospital in grave condition.
He lost consciousness, lost his heart rate. There's a lot of neurological signals going on right now. We're not really sure what happened. He's not doing well. They keep telling me we're very, 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 very worried about Frankie. That's exactly how they would tell me, and I knew that.
Hold on, let me get this. I need to show you guys this.
While Frankie was fighting for his life in Boston, Matt got the news that his father, Frank, who Frankie was named after, died after having a pacemaker put in.
I looked at Julie and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "My dad died."
Without a moment to grieve, the state police told Matt they had an update on the case.
And they said, "We tell you that we're arresting Amy." And I remember my wife and I both were like, "You can't do that. We love Amy. She's great."
The family was shocked until the police told them about the evidence they had.
We reviewed the video of the camera on the outside of the house.
Her house.
Her house. And we saw that Amy came home at 9-something. She exited the vehicle and went in her house. Okay. He said she didn't come back to the vehicle until around 12:30 or 1. I said, okay. And he's like, "She's the only one who exited the vehicle." And I said, "What?"
According to police reports, Cotton's Nest camera shows that another child and Frankie were left alone, strapped in car seats in her SUV for about 3 hours. The video allegedly does not show that Cotton ever took Frankie out of his car seat, changed him, or gave him any food or water.
She tortured my child. You know, they hints the audio of the video, and he could be heard calling out for data over and over and over again until the video went silent.
Police say Cotton admitted while the children were in the car, she was inside the house cooking bacon, conducting personal hygiene, and prepared her son's hockey bags. As police were making their case, Frankie's condition worsened, and the family made the difficult decision to take him off life support.
It's horrible. I held his hand, and I just kept saying, "Go to Pap Pap."
Happy birthday, Papa.
Oh my God.
Pap Pap is what Frankie called his grandfather. Matt has some peace believing that Frankie is with his grandfather. At the same time, he's demanding justice for his son.
She played Russian roulette with my son's life every day, apparently. And
yep, she did.
He didn't win this one. Amy killed my son.
Cotton is charged with manslaughter and has pleaded not guilty. Her attorney declined our request for comment. In February, the family filed a civil suit against Cotton and also started a foundation.
I watched your live this morning.
In Frankie's name. And
you
there
go
is some
too
happy
live
news.
too late for me,
Just
woman.
last week,
But
the
I'll be
couple
up tonight.
welcomed their third child, a boy. Cheryl Fiandaca, WBZ News.
We wish them the best, Cheryl.
So okay, we were talking about, and I ran across this, and I really want to share this with you guys because this can happen to anyone. And I want you to pay attention and I want you to listen to this because this is about a babysitter who helped her pedophile boyfriend kidnap a 5-year-old. And this, to me, hit really hard. And the channel name is True Crime News. I tell y'all, I watch a lot of stuff. It's True Crime News, and they cover stuff from all over. When I listened to this yesterday, I started crying. I was already crying, but then I shouldn't have listened to this. But this is the story, and I'm just going to skip some of it, but this is
Morning fire rips through a home in Bemidji, Minnesota. Firefighters raced to the scene.
When I got there was still smoke in the air, but they primarily had the fire extinguished.
Buried in the debris and still smoldering home, a horrible tragedy.
Yes,
the
KK.
body of the homeowner, Melissa Norby.
But here's the thing. Okay, let me give you a quick overview of this. She was always getting this 5-year-old little girl. You know, they would have a girls' night. Her son, she would send to another relative's house. He's a preteen, I do believe. Oh, the wood chipper murder. Oh my God. So anyway, she would get this little girl and bring her to her home. So as I'm listening to the story, I'm like, the only reason she was getting this little girl was for her pedophile boyfriend. She didn't care about this child. That's why she sent her son away. But I want you to listen to what he did to her. This little girl was being abused.
It seemed really odd because The main bulk of the fire had burned in a southwest bedroom, but then her body was in the middle of the house and had what appeared to be a mattress over the top.
Deputy Fire Marshal Kevin Molly is called to investigate and immediately notices something suspicious. Melissa's body and the mattress are both badly burned.
Quite a bit more than what you would expect from a fire that would have started a few rooms away.
And that wasn't all.
When we walked around the outside, some of the things that we noticed were windows that had literally been blown away from the building 12, 15 feet.
Evidence of explosives is easy to find.
Bruce, could you shine the light on that gas can again?
Oh, you heard about this one,
Detective Mike Solemn is the
I'm
man
telling you
behind
guys, this little girl. So her son wasn't there, right? So the little girl that she was babysitting was there. And when the mother heard that the house was on fire, she ran to the house. The cops were sitting there thinking that they knew where their daughter was. And then they realized that no, they didn't. So then they told the story about how she was dating a registered sex offender that they had known that was living in that town. That they had known, they had been keeping an eye on him. He had taken this little girl and K'd the girlfriend. I'm just going to tell you, it ended up with a happy ending. But I want you guys, that link that I dropped in that chat, I want you guys to watch this video, because this is the guy that they pulled into custody. He's the registered, but the thing to this, when they found her, she was bound and gagged, and they used to like to do S&M or B&D, bondage and discipline. So she probably thought that they were playing a game again, but no, they weren't playing a game. He was planning on murdering her and taking that little girl. Yes, they found her in a camper. They found her, but you guys really need to watch this, and I'm just gonna. I want you to see it. True Crime Watch is a really, really great channel. They cover all kinds of stories, and it just goes to show you that you can't trust. Now, the babysitter was a friend of the mother's since school. They were best of friends, and she was abusing. By Gwen, she was abusing her best friend's daughter, letting this man abuse that little girl. He wanted that little girl all to himself. So yes, they did find the little girl. They did find her in the camper. See, that's when they found her right there. They found her in the camper.
Little Brittany did not have to tell her story of torture and abuse in open court. Jacob Kinn cut a deal with prosecutors.
See, we have her tied up too.
3 felonies: kidnapping, first-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor, and second-degree unintentional murder.
Why unintentional?
Because of Melissa Norby, part of her sexual gratification was to get choked out during the sex act.
Yep.
And
you need to watch the whole interrogation, but this was just on their channel. But if you look up his name, you would actually see his whole interrogation. And he is, hold on, is Jacob, what is his name again? It's Jacob Kinn. Because I looked at it and I was like, you are a sick. But whenever a child goes missing and you have registered sex offenders in that vicinity, the first person they're going to look for, they're going to call you. So they went, he wasn't home, so they called his parole officer. His probation officer called him, and they were able to trace his phone to see where he was. Yes, the little girl survived. This little girl did survive. There's another one that didn't, but this little girl did survive. So the channel name is True Crime News. Let me drop that link again for you. Well, if you guys like true crime, I like true crime, y'all know that. So if you like true crime, they cover a lot of stories. And even when the boyfriend that was kidnapped and was stabbed and all, but they have a lot of good stories. I just saw the one this morning about the man that scalped his girlfriend, and he wanted his pit bull, ordered the pit bull to attack her. So they cover all kinds of cases. Yeah, this one brought me to tears, and I was already crying yesterday. So this one brought me to tears. And she was able to tell him about his cats, and the only reason she said she never liked him, but thank you for letting me play with your cats. This little girl, 5 years old, so smart, she described his house, she described the car he brought her there in, everything. So I want to say thank you to everyone for joining me this morning. KK, I actually finished your live this morning. It was a great live. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. So if you go live today, I'll come in the chat tonight. I watched Sophie's live that she did yesterday, Friday, free for all. That was a good live. So I think that's it. I need to go watch Paula's live now because Paula was live. I saw when I was going live when I opened up my YouTube so I can pull up those videos. I saw Paula was live, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna watch Paula. Hi, Dave S. Cameron. Long time. How are you? I'll talk about Dolly tomorrow. Because it's a lot. But let me get you guys White Boy Radio's channel. He has Dolly and PJ on the ropes, and I really enjoy his White Boy Lockdown Radio. Let me drop this in here for you guys. He has them. He is covering the hell out of them, and now he's doing JLR as well. And Best Witches. You know what? I am so happy to see you, Dave. I really am. Okay, so I dropped White Boy Lockdown Radio in the chat, and you'll be surprised how many people that you see in his chat that you know. Oh my God, thank you. And I hope you come back again. I really, really do. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I really would appreciate it. But I will see you guys later. You guys have a great Saturday. I'm going to go crawl back in my bed. It's a Netflix day for me. Beauty in Black is on. And I'm trying to find Molly Go Lightly. I don't know what Molly's new channel is, but if you go to White Boy Lockdown, in one of the videos where he's talking about Molly Go Lightly, he actually put a link to her new channel there. Oh, thank you. I do have a great chat. So you guys have a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, we do have a good time. Drea, I'm going to call you later too. Oh, I know you're subbed. All right, guys, I am out of here. Have a great, great day. But it was something else. Some bone fragments were supposedly found around Nancy Guthrie's house or in that vicinity. So I'm going to have to really look into that because I don't want to put out, misinformation. But that was something that I was hearing about. So I'm going to look into that and see, because why would you have bone fragments now? I don't think that a body would decompose that quick for you to have bone fragments, but we'll see. But I love you guys. Have a great Saturday. Bye.